DNA and have them do labor. It's literally comparable to the cattle milk industry, literally. And that's why they're running around with their like chickens with their heads cut off, because women are trying to adopt in the West, are trying to adopt the 4B movement. Although I don't think it's going to stick, because especially for black women, because too many black women have sons. They're not going to abandon their relationship with their son. The 4B girls in Korea are not playing. They cutting off family members, not just men, sex, dating, having babies. They're cutting off males. Period. I don't think black women are ready for that. Y'all be thumbed out the game. I don't think y'all ready for that. So it's very radical what they're doing, and they're doing it as a response to the patriarchy, not because men are just getting on their nerves. And if you are a part of a 4B movement, west, east, south, north, whatever, men should not be allowed in the space, period. When you allow men in the space, you have compromised the integrity of your movement, especially if you're saying no heterosexual relationships, no sex with men, no having babies with heterosexual men, no relationships with male family members. Y'all not ready for that if you are allowing men to occupy the space where you are saying you are cutting off men. You've compromised the integrity of your movement. Tighten up. If you are want to move in that I support the 4B movement. I support it. I support it. I support it. I wish it was something that I would, girl, just I support it. I support it. I support it. But again, you cannot be in the stages of where you're still negotiating with men to get their shit together. Because what it looks like is a response to romantic, intimate relationships with men. And it's not just that. Who did I see say it? I think it was Pumpkin that said it. Like, you would think after the Roe v. Wade situation, I think it was her that said it. After the Roe v. Wade situation, you would have thought that the women would have went on a strike for pussy. Like, ain't nobody getting pussy, ain't nobody having sex, nothing. We're not even putting ourselves in position to have a oops, to where we even have an abortion. The only thing that is going to do, if women were really smart, is respond to the Roe v. Wade and the abortion thing. Stop having sex. I'm not having sex with nobody. I'm not having sex with y'all. Because if I can't have an abortion, if something happens, anything happens, I'm not even going to put myself into the position where that is a possibility. So cutting it all off. I don't think women in the West are ready. It's too many pick-me's, male-identified mammy types that will occupy the space, bringing in men and stuff like that. I witnessed on the TikTok page, the 4B West movement, there were men on their panels. Absolutely not. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Absolutely not. Allowing men to disrespect them. The first thing you got to do if you want to cut men off is have some goddamn self-respect, because nothing else is going to work after that. If you don't have no self-respect, and a man can come into the space and talk to y'all crazy on a 4B movement page, and y'all allow a man to get out any kind of disrespect, cut him off. I don't even know why men were on the panel. What is going on? You're compromising the integrity of your movement. That's why they don't take y'all grievances seriously, and they laugh at y'all. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all are talking shit. Y'all ain't doing nothing but talking shit. Y'all ain't doing nothing but have Al Bundy had the no ma'am. Remember when they had no ma'am? They had their little 4B movement on Married with Children. No ma'am. And they would sit up there and men's rights and all this other stuff. That's all y'all are. Is now sitting in a room grieving about how men are acting. Y'all need to be focused on the principles of the 4B movement and ways that you can effectively adopt those standards. Period. That needs to be the conversation. If a man jumps on the panel, sorry, sir, this is not a conversation where men are included. Good, thank you, good night. You don't have to be rude or nothing, but hang up on their asses. Y'all are allowing men to come on your panel and talk to y'all like dogs. No, fuck that. Get the fuck off my panel. Why are you here? This is a space for women. This is not a space for men. Furthermore, y'all should be having conversations like large conversations in private. And everybody you talking to needs to have a picture, because men will post pictures, will create a profile with a woman's picture and get into women's spaces. Stop. Y'all need to be more vigilant, and that's a way that you can vet. That's a vetting process, but y'all not doing that because y'all still want men to know how much they upset you. You are still in your negotiating stage of the grieving process. You haven't accepted that they are the way that they are. And that's why the 4B movement in Korea is something totally different from what these girls are doing out here. Y'all are still allowing men on your panels. Get them the fuck off your panel. I don't give a fuck. If they're an ally to black women, if they're an ally to women, if they're a man and I identify as a man and they're an ally to women, you can listen, but hush your goddamn mouth. You can support silently. Shut up. We don't need to hear nothing out of a man's baritone, nothing. We don't need to hear nothing out of his mouth. And not just, I don't even care if it's favorable. I don't want to hear nothing out of your mouth. You support, and that's it. Shut your mouth. Y'all let men on your panel talking to you crazy, and nobody hangs up on them. Girl, what are you doing? Oh no, you still want men to be like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. We're leaving. Y'all not treating us right. We're out of here. We're leaving. I promise we're leaving. Did I say that we're leaving? Oh, what? We're leaving. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Y'all have a crack open in the door. Y'all need to shut the door, lock it, and put a deadbolt on that motherfucker. Don't let these niggas into your spaces, especially if you are literally saying that you're a 4B movement. The men are nowhere to be found. And the women over there are cutting their hair, making themselves unattractive. We don't even want to attract you. We're doing things to make ourselves unattractive. That is how radical it is. Y'all are still in the grieving stages where you want to tell men and still let men know how mad you are at them for not being available to you as potential partners. Y'all are still in that in that stage. Y'all still mad. You got to get to a stage of apathy to where when you cut them off and cut their asses out, you have a smile on your face and you don't give a fuck. Sorry, sir, you're not invited here. This is a 4B movement. No, nothing about a man in here. If you would like to support, thank you, but we accept silent support from allies of women. That's it. We don't need to hear your voice because it means nothing here. Now, if you want to talk about the 4B movement on your own platforms, men, that's fine. But you're not invited into a space that says, no sex with men, no child rearing, no dating men, no marriage to men. I'm telling you, they have even gone to the point where they're cutting their hair off. That's how you're able to recognize them. They all have short hair, short black hair, and they wear clothes to not be, I don't want to attract you. I don't even want your gaze. You are still accepting the gaze of men. You are still accepting them into your space. You're not ready. You are not ready. Shout out to you for buying the domain name, but y'all ain't ready. Y'all, I can't. When I was watching that, I said, okay, they're allowing men on the panel. No, you can't allow men on your panel. You have to stick to the principles. And if you don't have no principle, and your principles starting off trying to exclude people that identify as women and who want to operate in the space to where they're not giving attention to men, they're not having sex with cis men, they're not trans women, if they want to be a part of the 4B movement, they also have to decenter men. Period. And I agree with the girl, a lot of trans women are not ready to decenter men. They're still trying to attract men. That's out of here. That's done. So if that's where you are, then of course, why would you exclude people who identify as women and are feeling the effects of the same things you're feeling the effects of? Don't say it's no different, because it's the same. They identify as women. They live their lives as women. They are experiencing women. No, they don't have periods. No, they can't give birth. None of that stuff. But again, you're living as a woman. You are still experiencing what these women are experiencing, and as a response created this movement. They're still experiencing those things. So yes, if you want to be a part of the movement, you have to decenter men. Decenter means they're not even allowed in the space to have a voice. They don't even have a voice. There's no voice. Y'all still arguing with men on the internet? No, that's a no. The purpose. The 4B movement is meant to serve as a direct opposition to South Korea's patriarchal state and combat its pro-natalist policies, which view women's bodies and reproductive abilities as tools for the state's future. Right. Cattle. DNA duplication. Creating more people for labor. Feminists who engage in the 4B movement are known to actively resist the various ways in which gendered expectations are enforced in a conservative society, specifically relating to child rearing, relationships, and employment. The resistance involves not only withdrawing from dating, but also rejecting prevalent gender beauty standards and their associated consumerist practices in South Korea. In a conservative and traditional society, alternative forms of protest in the 4B movement include defying rigid beauty norms and traditional gendered expectations by shaving heads and choosing not to wear bras. Members of the movement challenge the conventional life trajectory of marriage and family, while also condemning gender discrimination prevalent in the Korean job market, where women are 31% less than their male counterparts, regardless of their marital or parental status. The movement serves as a response to the nation's profound demographic crisis, while simultaneously posing a threat to its democratic stability. 4B feminists reject the instrumentalization of women's reproductive capacities and choose to distance themselves from a society they perceive irredeemable. Why are you talking to these drunk motherfuckers? Trying to rationalize with these drunk niggas. They're irredeemable. They're irredeemable. There is no hope. You cannot wait for them to get it together. You are going to have to move into action. And one of the main things is not allowing these niggas in the space, especially if they talking crazy to you. While the 4B advocates aspire, while 4B advocates aspire to instigate societal change through in-person demonstrations, online activism, and by exemplifying an alternative lifestyle for other women, their focus is not on changing the perspective of men as they are seen as oppressor. Why are you even talking to him? Why are you trying to reason and negotiate with terrorists? These men mean you no good. They only want you in these types of relationships for cattle. You are a DNA duplicator and free labor. Oh, I'm a nurturer. Girl, shut up. Grow up. Anyways, I got to go. It's been an hour and 18 minutes. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Remember, you are a sovereign woman. You do not need anyone. The people are around you should be around you because they are nice to have around you, not because you need them around you. Meaning, if any of those people decide they don't want to be around you anymore for reasons of their own, You will be okay. And stop letting these men on your panels talking to y'all crazy. Take care of each other, protect your energy, and center yourself. Peace.